Welcome to English with Shams. In order to speak English fluently and communicate effectively, you have to understand and practice important aspects of English language like grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and communication. In our course, 30 Days English Speaking Challenge, these aspects are explained in detail with examples. In this video, you will learn direct speech and indirect speech and relevant rules. In this session, we will continue types of speech, remaining aspects of types of speech we will be discussing. So here, the tense of now in some special scenarios, the tense of reported speech may not change if reported speech is a universal truth, though its reporting verb belongs to past tense. So here what we have seen that if the reporting verb belongs to past tense, then the reporting, the tense changes. For example, now you see here the reporting verb is in past tense. So the reporting speech, the tense in the reporting speech changes. That's why he said, I write a letter. But in indirect speech, he said that he wrote a letter. So changing from present simple to past simple based on the form of the verb or tense of this verb. All right. So now in some special cases, even though the tense of reported speech may not change if a reported speech is universal truth, though its reporting verb belongs to past tense. For example, he said, mathematics is a science. So indirect speech, because this reporting speech is a universal truth. That's why we don't make any changes here. So we simply said, he said that mathematics is a science. So here, whatever form of the tense is there, tense form, same form is used without making any changes because this is universal truth. Though the reporting verb is in past tense. Second thing, direct speech. He said, sun rises in east. Because sun rises in east is an universal truth. That's why we don't make any changes in the reporting speech. So he said that sun rises in the east. The only thing what we need to do is we add that word. That is the only difference between direct speech and indirect speech if it is universal truth. So tense didn't change because reported speech is a universal truth, though its reporting verb belongs to past tense. So you can see here this reporting verb is a past tense. The reporting is the speech is in the maybe it's a universal truth. Okay. Now we will look at indirect speech for interrogative sentence. Whatever we discussed, it was for affirmative and negative. What about interrogative sentences? For changing interrogative, that is question sentence, into indirect speech, we have to observe the nature of question and then change it to indirect speech according to its rules for indirect speech. A question can be of two types. One type which can be answered only in yes or no, and other type which needs a little bit explanation for its answer and cannot be answered only in only yes or no. So which question is answered in yes or no? Anyone? So in types of tenses, we discussed about types of sentences like affirmative, negative, simple question, and WH question. So simple question and WH questions, there are actually interrogative sentence or right, there are the questions. So out of simple question or WH question, we reply with yes or no. No to which question? It is simple or WH.
Simple,
For
simple question.
yes, for simple question we reply in yes or no. For WH question we don't reply with yes or no. We explain in that. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's why one type which can be answered in only yes or no, that is for simple question, and other type which needs a little bit explanation, like for WH question we explain to its answer and cannot be answered because WH questions we cannot answer in yes or no question. Okay. So anyone would like to make, yeah, for example, see here, do you like music? This is simple question. It cannot be right. It can be answered in yes or no. It doesn't require any explanation. It is just, do you like music? Yes. If yes, otherwise no, that's all. Nothing else required. But look at WH question. How are you? We cannot answer in yes or no. It cannot be answered in yes or no, but it needs a little bit explanation. Like if somebody asks you, how are you? You should you can reply, let's say, I'm fine, I'm doing great, awesome, whatever. But you are giving some little explanation. You are not answering like a yes or no. So as we know, for all simple questions, yes, we can reply with yes or no, and WH question with little bit explanation. Okay, now now questions which can be answered in yes or no, that is a simple question. To change questions which can be answered in yes or no into indirect speech, word if or whether is used before the question in indirect speech. Rules for change in tense of question sentences are same as for change in normal tenses in indirect speech, but sentence will not start with auxiliary verb of the sentence. The word that is not used between reporting verb and reporting speech as conjunction in indirect speech of question sentence. Okay, so now question is not used, question mark is not used in indirect speech. Okay, so let me correct this one, this document. So here, okay, now everything seems fine. Yeah, let's continue here. We are discussing about this. Question mark is not used in indirect speech. So direct speech, where the question is asked, simple question, right? He said to me, do you like music? If you would like to make indirect speech of this sentence, then he asked me if I liked music. Not okay. Did I like music? Okay. So here in direct speech, we can see the question is there. But when we are converting into indirect speech, it's not a question, Can you see here? Direct speech. He said to me, do you like music? Indirect speech of this one. He asked me if I liked music. Or in another way, we can say, he asked me whether I liked music. Direct speech. He said, will he participate in the quiz competition? Indirect speech of this one. She asked me if he would participate in quiz question. Okay. So here, when we are converting from direct speech to indirect speech, the same rule that if it is in present simple, then right. So do you like music? Then it should be converted into past simple. However, extra word if is added, and that word is not used in case of questions, simple questions. If the indirect speech is a simple question. Okay. So now I say to him, are you feeling well? Indirect speech. I asked him if he was feeling well. So you see, instead of said, now it is asked. Direct, another direct. They ask, they say to me, did you go to school? Indirect speech. They asked me if I had gone to school. So as a rule, what we have seen, look at the rules, what we have done. Present simple tense into past simple tense, present continuous tense into past continuous, present perfect tense into past perfect, present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous, past simple tense into past perfect, past continuous into past perfect continuous, past perfect into past. So this rule is applicable here, whatever we are doing now. Okay. Another thing. He said to me, have you taken the breakfast? Indirect speech. He asked me if I had taken the breakfast. So it's like if the direct speech is a simple question, then in the indirect speech will be like the affirmative of that question. Okay, with if. All right. Now, another thing. Questions which cannot be answered in yes or why. That is our WH question. So to change such questions into indirect speech, the words if or whether is not used. So you can see here, if we are converting simple question into indirect speech, if or whether is used, right? And for WH question, if or whether is not used. The tense of the question is changed according to the rules for change in normal tenses in indirect speech, but sentence will not start with auxiliary verb of the tense, the word that is not used between reporting verb and reporting speech as conjunction in indirect speech for question sentence. Question mark is used in indirect speech. So if we convert simple question into indirect speech, no question mark. But if we are converting WH question, which is in direct speech, into indirect, then question mark comes. So what it says, so question mark is not used in indirect speech. Okay. The word that is not used between reporting verb and reporting speech as conjunction in direct speech of sentence. Question mark is not used in indirect. So it means whether you are converting direct speech, which is in simple question or WHO question, into indirect, so the question mark will not be there in indirect. All right. So it's like a affirmative sentence. So like he said to me, how are you? You see the WH question here? Earlier we were addressing simple question. Simple questions starts with helping verb. WH question starts with WH verb. So now, direct speech. He said to me, "How are you?" So indirect speech. He asked me how I was. So you see here, how I was. It's a affirmative sentence, like where it is just how I was, not how was I. Because if we bring, put like this, how was I, then it becomes WH question. But how I was is not a WH question. Because for WH question, WH word, then auxiliary help, helping verb, then subject. If we put sentence like this, then it becomes WH question. But here we have WH word, then subject, and then helping verb. If helping verb comes after WH word, then it becomes WH question. It is not a WH question. It's the affirmative. So indirect speech. So look at the direct speech. He said to me, "How are you?" Indirect speech of this one, he asked me how I was. Okay. Direct speech. Teacher said to him, "What is your name?" Indirect speech. Teacher asked him what his name was. Direct speech. She said to him, "Why did you come late?" Indirect speech. She asked him why he had come late. Direct speech. He said, "When will they come?" Indirect speech. He asked when they would come, because instead of will, would is used for future tense. Indirect speech. He asked his son, "Why are you crying?" Indirect speech. She asked her son why he was crying. All right. So for WH question. Now, if we are using models like, like can, should, may, all those are called as modal verbs. So here, present models are changed to past models. For example, models means can, may, must, should. All these are called as models that we will be discussing in detail. So if it is direct speech, like he said, "I can drive a car." In direct speech, he said that he could drive a car. So can is converted into could, because the past of the third form of here present models are changed to past models. So this is present, can, could. All right. So the first form, and could is the second form, that which is past form. So he said, "I can drive a car." Can changes to could. He said that he could drive a car. Only the change is instead of can, could is used. Okay. She said he can play a violin. She said that he could play a violin. They said we can climb on a hill. They said that they could climb on a hill. Can is changed to could, and that is added as an extra word. Similarly, may changes to might. He said, "I may buy a computer." He said that he might buy a computer. She said he may visit a doctor. She said that he might visit a doctor. They said they may go to zoo. They said that they might go to zoo. Okay. Similarly, must changes to had. He said, "I must work hard." He said that he had to work hard. She said they must carry on their work. She said that they had to carry on their work. So see the changes. Must change to had, and only that word is extra added. I said to him, you must learn the test-taking strategies. I said to him that he had to learn the test-taking strategies. So instead of must, had to is added, is used. Now, some sentences where models are not changed. For example, he said he would apply for a visa. In this case, here in indirect speech, they said that they would apply for a visa. So it means if we are using model like would, could, might, then there is no change. He said, I would start a business. He said that he would start a business. She said, I would appear in exam. She said that he would appear in the exam. Okay. So the, here article, definite article, the, the is missing here. So let me add that one to correct the sentence. Yeah, we should take the exam. Yeah, here it is added. Then why? Okay, it is wood for wood here. Okay, that is there. Okay, now it is correct. Now, if it is could, she said she could play a piano. She said that she could play a piano. They said we wouldn't learn the lesson. They said that they couldn't learn the lesson. The only difference is that they said that that is missing here. Let me add. All right. Yeah. They said that they couldn't learn the lesson. Right? So the short form of could not, it is could. We will be discussing in detail about short forms as well. Okay. Right? So he said, I could run faster. He said that he could run faster. What about might, should? Similarly, all these ones. So here where there is no change in models. They are called as models like should, would, could, can, all these ones. Now we have exclamatory sentences. So indirect speech of imperative sentence or exclamatory sentence, a sentence which expresses command, a request, advice, or suggestion is called imperative sentence. For example, open the door. Please help me. Let's learn your lesson. So to change such sentences into indirect speech, the word ordered or requested or advised or suggested or forbade or not to do is added to reporting verb depending upon nature of imperative sentence in a reporting speech. Direct speech. He said to me, please help me. Indirect speech. He requested me to help him. Direct speech. He said to him, you should work hard for exam. Indirect speech. He suggested him to work hard for exam. All right. So here, direct speech, they say to him, do not tell a lie. Indirect speech, they say to him not to tell a lie. Okay, so these are some of the sentences. Let me, yes, so let's say direct speech. He said, please give me a glass of water. Please give me glass of water. Okay, right? So article should also be added here. Okay, a glass of water. A glass of water. All right. Indirect speech. He requested to give him a glass of water. Direct speech. Doctor said to me, do not smoke. Indirect speech. Doctor advised me not to smoke. Direct speech. The teacher said to him, get out. The teacher ordered him to get out. Okay. This is for exclamatory. Then some more imperative sentence. Indirect speech of exclamatory sentences. Sentences which expresses a state of joy or sorrow or wonder is called exclamatory sentence. For example, hooray, we won the match. Alas, I failed the test. Wow, what a nice shirt it is. To change such sentences, the words exclaimed with joy, or exclaimed with sorrow, or exclaimed with wonder is added in the reporting verb depending on the nature of exclamatory sentence in indirect speech. For example, he said, hooray, I won a prize. He exclaimed with joy that he had won a prize. Alas, I failed in the exam. She exclaimed with sorrow that she failed in the exam. Okay. Wow, what a nice shirt it is. John said, wow, what a nice shirt it is. John exclaimed with wonder that it was a nice shirt. Okay. She said, hooray, I am selected for the job. Indirect speech, she exclaimed with joy that she was selected for the job. So all these rules are applicable. Okay. And for some changes in pronoun in indirect speech, the pronoun which is subject of the reported speech is changed according to the pronoun of reporting verb or object of reporting verb. Sometimes the pronoun may not change. First person pronoun in a reported speech, like first person pronoun are I and we. So similarly, me, us, mine, right? So if you look at pronouns, go to parts of speech. Here we have, these are the pronouns we have. I, if it is used as a subject, me, if it is used as an object, and my, if it is used as an adjective. All right. So like this, so it's different forms of pronouns we have. So the first person pronoun in reported speech, like I, we, me, us, mine, or our, is changed according to the pronoun of reporting verb if pronoun in reporting verb is third person pronoun. So like he, she, it, they, him, his, all these. One example, direct speech. He said, I live in New York. In direct speech, he said that he lived in New York. So I is changed to he. Okay, because he is the actual person who is speaking this one. Direct speech, they said, we love our country. In direct speech, they said that they love their country. Okay, for first person. If it is in the indirect speech. Okay. So first person pronoun in reported speech, like all these. Direct speech, I said, I write a letter. I said that I wrote a letter. Okay. We said we completed our work. He said that we completed our work. Right? So in this sentence, please identify tenses and parts of speech. Anyone? Yeah, Shahbaz is now you. Yeah, Musab, go ahead. Musab, yeah, I think you are trying to say. Yes,
We
please
said
read.
that
Yeah, please
we
read
have
out this
completed our
sentence.
work.
Yeah, please read out this sentence. Identify tense and parts of speech.
We say that we completed our work is past indefinite.
So here you see, he said this is past indefinite.
That is
Then
pronoun.
we completed, it is also past indefinite. Am I right?
Yes, yes,
Both
sir.
are in past. Now identify parts of speech.
We said is pronoun.
We is a pronoun which is
Pronoun.
acting as a subject in this sentence. Then said is a verb because first form of said is say, and the second and third form of say is said, said. So it's a verb. What about this? That. What is this? Which part of speech it is? It is conjunction. Then again
Conjunction.
pronoun, verb, right? Then this is also pronoun. This is noun. All right, like this. Now, in case of second person pronoun in reported speech, yours is changed according to the person of object of reporting verb. Direct speech, she said to him, you are intelligent. Indirect speech, she said to him that he was intelligent. Okay. So direct speech, he said to me, you are late for the party. Indirect speech, he said to me that I was late for the party. Okay. Third person pronoun in reporting speech. So direct speech, they said he will come. Indirect speech, they said that he would come. Similarly, you said they are waiting for the bus. In direct speech, you said that they were waiting for the bus. Okay. So here, in general, personal pronouns change to third person singular or plural, except when the speaker reports his own words. So like, right, so there are pronoun changes that we need to see. All right, so one example, he said, I like your car. He told her that he liked her new car. I said, I'm going to my friend's house. I said that I was going to my friend's house. All right. Now, changes in time and adverbs in indirect speech. Time and adverbs are changed in indirect speech. One example, direct speech. He said, I will buy a book tomorrow. Indirect speech of this one, he said that he would, because instead of will, would is used. He would buy a book instead of tomorrow, the next day. So because you might have seen if changes in time, then it is, there are some changes. Yeah, can you see here that time, change in time? This, right? So like now change to then, today to that day, tomorrow to next day, yesterday to previous day, right? So change in time that we discussed. So same thing is happening here. Instead of tomorrow, the next day. Similarly, direct speech, she said, I am happy now. Indirect, she said that she was happy then. Now is changed to then. Indirect speech, he said, I like this book. He said that he liked that book. This is changed to that. Okay. So some common rules which we need to understand. Today changes to that day or the same day. Tomorrow changes to the next day or the following day. We can use the next day or the following day in our reported speech. Yesterday changes to the day of before or the previous day. Next week, month or year, that is next week, next month or next year, changes to the following week or following month or following year. Last week or last month or last year changes to the previous week or previous month or previous year. Now or right now or just changes to then. Ago changes to before. Here changes to there. This changes to that. So these are the common rules which we need to understand. Okay, so let's take some example. Today, now we are using today, this word in this sentence. I saw him today, he said. So today changes to that day. She said that she had seen him that day. Yesterday changes to the day before. I saw him yesterday. She said. She said that she had seen him the day before. The day before. The day before yesterday changes to 2 days before. I met her the day before yesterday. He said. He said that he had met her 2 days before. Tomorrow changes to next or the following day. I will see you tomorrow, he said. He said that he would see me the next day. Tomorrow changes to the next day or the following day. The day after tomorrow, all right? So in 2 days time or 2 days later. So for example, we will come the day after tomorrow, he said. He said that they would come in 2 days time or 2 days later. Similarly, for next week or next month or next year, I have an appointment next week, he said. She said. She said that she had an appointment the following week. Next week changes to the following week. Similarly, last week, last month or year, I was on a holiday last week, he told us. He told us that he had been on holiday the previous week. Okay. Similarly, ago, I saw her a week ago. He said. He said he had seen her a week before. So ago changes to before. This changes to that. I am getting a new car this week. She said. She said that she was getting a new car that week. Instead of this, it is now that. Okay, and another two, is or that. Do you like this shirt? He asked. He asked if I liked the shirt. Okay, because you see before shirt, this is used, this word. But instead of this, the article is added. Similarly here, he said, I live here. And instead of here, it is there. He told me that he lived there. Okay, so this is about types of speeches like direct speech or indirect speech. Okay, so as and when required. So most of the time we go with direct speech. What the indirect speech, that is in tenses, topic, we discuss all those things in detail. All right. So any question from here? Just try to understand what is the rule, right? What changes you can see, and try to understand the logic behind it. Okay. So this is about types of speech. Okay. Now we will discuss about syllables and stress. Syllables and stress. Let's go to syllable and stress. The smallest fragment of a word is called as syllable. Stress means emphasis on a particular word. Okay. Now look at some example. When a noun ends in tin, stress the syllable before tin ending. So look at the word location. So can you see here, it is ending with tin. So if a noun, location is a noun. So when a noun ends in tin or tins, we have to stress the syllable before the tin. So the syllable before tin is a ca. So location. So it should. So we need to stress on ca. So it should be location. You cannot simply say location. It should be location. Similarly, resolution. Resolution. So we need to emphasize on lu, which is coming before tin. Similarly, it should be question. We need to stress on question. Okay. So look at the dictionary. Okay. So now I'm going to put location. Location. It should be pronounced as location. Can you see here? Location. Location. So we need to stress on ca, that is location. It is shan. Location. Similarly, resolution. Resolution. We need to emphasize on lu. Resolution. Resolution. Question. Question. It is question. Right? So by using free dictionary, you can find out the meaning as well as the correct pronunciation, like what is a UK pronunciation, US pronunciation, general, for example, UK. So you see the sound here, right? Similarly, question. So you need to refer this free dictionary to know the meaning as well as correct pronunciation in. Thanks for watching this video. Follow us and practice to enhance your English fluency.